All right, guys, what's up? We are here. Hold on. Oh, my goodness. All right, we're here. We're doing things. We are awesome. We are with the pod. Supforce is here. We're killing it. We're doing awesome things. Tonight, I am your host. As our host normally is our featured creator, and we're interviewing him tonight. You know him as our DLive manager. You love him. You've seen him. You've probably played with him in any aspect, shape, or form. Welcome to the show, DieHard.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Kind of weird being on this side of it all. You know what? Honestly, because of it won't let me move it. Darn it! I was hoping to flop the screens. What's up, everybody?
So, welcome to your own show. You've done a great job with it so far. It's been absolutely incredible. I'm glad I can assist with this in any way, shape, or form. We're going to kick it off, man. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and roll into it.
Well, DieHard M. I started out playing video games probably back in like 82 because I'm 43 years old. Feels like I'm still that age back then sometimes, being 43 years old, but still having that mindset. Love video games, always have. It's just the fun escape from the day-to-day that happens, and love to do it. Started streaming about 3 years ago. I streamed a little bit of Minecraft and, did it here or there. Then I really started getting into it where I joined a streaming group that was called Xbox Live and was streaming for them. And it was about like 75 to 80 people were in the stream all the time, and we would do shifts and everybody would have that. And didn't like the way things were going there and how things were being handled. So I thought, maybe I could do this. So I decided to start my own streaming channel with called the House of Spicy Ramen. And that's based off of our my Destiny 2 clan that I've had, or Destiny clan from all the way back. And it's a group of guys that and girls that have kind of, for lack of a better term, collected. And they followed me from clan to clan and decided to do our own thing finally. And and I was we did that for a while, and then it just really got to be too much to try to get everybody on the same page. And then I just decided that I wanted to go on my own and do it. So I started my Twitch channel back up again, which I was like at 75 viewers to start out with, and got to 100. Got the average viewers, applied, got Twitch affiliate pretty quickly. I was doing that and just wasn't seeing a lot of growth there. And then I decided to, my one buddy Bluebird came out and told me about DLive, because that was when PewDiePie signed on to stream for that platform. And he was like, you really should check this out. It's like, I'm going to see what it's all about. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm like, let me check it out and see. And so I looked it up. He did a couple streams on it. It wasn't for him because he had a following built up on Twitch. I decided to really jump with both feet in the water. And he said some words to me that really stuck. And it was basically, why be a little fish in an ocean when you could be a medium fish in a lake? And it resonated with me because, yes, DLive is small, but that means there's more exposure with everybody that's around. So I was just, like I said, I picked it up and ran with it. And, I searched and searched and searched and searched, trying to find a streaming community that would help DLive people. And I didn't find it. And then I joined a stream team called DLive Legends, and was on there for a while. And through some of the different Discords I was in for streaming support communities, I came across Smelters, and him and I became friends and talked and that, and went to Next Level and was promised my own DLive Discord for Next Level, and was going to run it. We were going to have all this support, and they were going to talk to me 6 people and get DLive integration into it and everything else. And it just, one thing with me is I hate, unkept promises. I hate people, because I've dealt with it tons of times in my life working retail, and people promising you the world and never coming through and delivering. So it's just like you're just used to empty promises all the time. And so I was just like, oh, whatever, I'm out. So I just kept searching, and then one day Smelter said, hey, I need you to join this Discord. It's what we've been talking about. It's what you've always wanted, and we really, really need you to come in here. And I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And popped in, jumped right in. I think, God, at that time, I think maybe there was 25 people in the Discord at that point.
Yep.
Very small. And I think you guys were only open for maybe a week, if that. Probably less than that.
I think it was less than that, actually, when we brought you in.
And you guys pulled me in and said, listen, really want you to build up the DLive side. And I'm like, okay, well, tell me about everything. And then talked to Panic, told me about the bots and what you guys were trying to achieve. And I said, all right, I'm in. Let's run it. This is exactly what I've been told, what I've wanted, and you guys are telling me all the right things. So we'll see how it goes. And I immediately went out there and just started recruiting and pulling people in to the point where we're a lot bigger now. But at one point, we had more active DLive members in the chat than we did Twitch, which was really, really cool. And then you guys, after about 2 weeks, pulled me into a staff chat and said, how would you like to be our DLive manager? And I was like, all right, cool. And here we are.
All right. So now that you've unloaded everything, and I've, every question I had thought of is gone, and now I'm going to have to build off of this. I want to rewind all the way back to the beginning statement.
Okay.
You've been playing since the early 80s. What were you playing at that time that really kind of pushed you to almost full-time status?
Well,
wise.
Back in the early 80s, my dad and my mom got me my first video game system, which was called, I believe it was called the 3-in-1 Arcade. And it's a little triangular gaming system where on one side it was a light gun game, on one side was a Pong game, and then on the other side was a driving game. And that was the only 3 games you had. Then they eventually came out with other ones, 4 that you could use different controls, but that was all you got, and that's all I had. So then obviously from there, I went to the Atari 2600.
Right.
From Atari 2600, I think I told this story when I was interviewing Brose, was that I played on a ColecoVision when I was 10, 11 years old, and that's how I learned how to play blackjack, was on there. Because ColecoVision had a joystick, but it had a number pad on it, and you could slide sleeves over the number pad. It would tell you about hitting, standing, double down, and everything else. So that's how I learned how to play blackjack.
It's funny, I actually started there as well.
Oh, nice.
Not the triangle, not that. That's a little bit before me, but with the blackjack and all that, my dad did the same thing with me. So
right, and then I went from Atari 2600. Played ColecoVision, and then went right into Nintendo. I didn't even get to the Atari 7800. I didn't do that one, but I went to Nintendo. Then from Nintendo, I actually went straight. I never had a Super Nintendo. My cousins had it, and I played over there.
Okay,
but I went right from Nintendo to Sega Genesis. And then played Sega Genesis, and then from Sega Genesis, I went from Sega Genesis to Nintendo 64 to
best controller setup.
Yes,
N64 best controller.
I love that setup.
Still this day.
And then I went to PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 2 is where I got into multiplayer gaming with my all-time favorite game of all time, which is SOCOM. I loved playing SOCOM Navy SEALs. It was just an amazing game to play with. And that's where I came up with my original handle was Method Man. Because one of my buddies in the clan that I was in, he was Red Man. And I was a big Brendan Shanahan fan from the Detroit Red Wings. And he said, I was thinking about changing my name. He's like, dude, you should be Method Man. He's like, you and I could run in SOCOM. I'm Red Man, you're Method Man, and we'll just go through it. And so I had that name all the way through till about a year ago. I used Method Man, whether it was Method Man 8, Mr. Method. I've had different variations of it, but it was always
Right.
Method Man. And when I started wanting to take, streaming seriously, there's no way that I could brand Method Man as my own. There's no way.
You would have lost that battle.
I tried a couple things and just got lit up on the internet for it. Like trying to take the Wu-Tang Clan logo, turn it upside down to make it an M, and just got blasted for it. Oh, it's copyright infringement. It's like, well, no, it's not the actual one. Because I did look at it and everything, but it was like the backlash was just like, forget it. Not even going to deal with it.
It's almost not worth it at that point
Right.
to deal with everything that would come with it to even try to make that attempt. Would be difficult.
Right. And so one of my good buddies that I played online and Xbox with for like about 8 years, his name's Booger Dawson on there. See if you know where that's from. You know where Booger Dawson's from?
Negative, Jim.
Character in a movie.
Yeah, I got nothing, buddy.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Good call.
So he was like, you're a big Michigan fan. You love the University of Michigan. He's like, you're a diehard fan. And then he threw out a picture where it had the Punisher logo, and then it had a block M in the middle of the skull of the Punisher logo. And it talked about being a diehard fan and everything. And I just looked at it and I was like, diehard M. That's where I'm going to go. So that's where it kind of was for Michigan, and also Method Man for kind of an ode to my past name. So, because I do love Method Man, I think he's an awesome artist.
Now it's funny because we've been playing together for quite some time, and we'll get into that after. But people that jump in with you or that have played with us, still call you Method.
Yes.
I've noticed a significant amount of people. So clearly that name has held its weight there.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you're talking all the way back from SOCOM, which is where I started my multiplayer career as well. Even though I'm not a big multiplayer guy, I did, I used to be. It was there.
Mm-hmm.
And so SOCOM is definitely where I think a lot of us started.
Right.
In our, I can't say age bracket, buddy. You got me beat by a lot. But
right.
So, going back to, the next thing we had kind of talked about is servers and things that you've, empty promises and things that you had pushed through from that. I remember you from the Next Level days, from being in NL with you and seeing that and all that. And you did big things there as well. Whether you want to admit that or not, I don't know. Yeah. But they're nice, a lot of those folks over there are nice people,
right.
And we made a lot of relationships with them. Is past servers compared to what you're in, what Supforce is now? Is there any empty promises that haven't been fulfilled? And I know that's a tough question. It probably is going to cut me real deep.
No, not at all. Not at all. I think that this, our server here for Supforce, and I do say our server because it's everybody who's a part of Supforce. It's everybody's home. That it's everything that was promised and more. I don't think we realized, or maybe you guys did, but I know I didn't realize the gravity the gravity of what we've all created here. Between Panic and the bots and you with the engagement and everything with everybody, to even your wife going in and doing the HR role. And that's, what I feel like nobody has stuff like that. Nobody has like an HR manager to say, hey, you know what? You need some time off. You got some things going on. Please go ahead. We'll be here for you when you get back. And that kind of, I guess you could say a buffer between everybody to say, you know what? It's cool. You need some time to do, to take care of stuff. Go do it. Do whatever you got to do. We'll be here when you get back. You're not going to lose any experience points. You're not going to lose anything like that. Go take care of yourself. That's what's most important, you or your family, and we'll be here.
Absolutely. And to play off that, guys, for anybody that's here that doesn't really know about this, it actually just came out in some announcements and with all the updates and stuff that we've been doing with the bots, and not to stir away from DieHard, but it is applied for members as well. If you guys are going on vacation, you're not going to be able to be in the server to halt that XP loss. You won't gain XP either. So any support that you're doing, anything like that, you won't be able to gain, but you also won't lose. So if you need a couple days or whatever, obviously don't excessively use it like crazy, but it's there.
Right.
There, little pitch for the, that's it. So, looking at a lot of things on the table and things that you've done and all this, when you started, did you see yourself here now or further along, less along, where did you see yourself from where you started to today's date, let's say, because you've been doing this, and how long have you been doing this?
Well, streaming's been about 3 years, and I've kind of bounced around a lot and had different ideas of what I wanted to do, and I looked at it, and one of my good buddies that I met when I was in Xbox Live was Bert Firkins, is his name, and helped him and Bluebird with Heels Please, which was another streaming community that they had that was an actual streaming channel that different people streamed off of. And I talked with Bert a lot when he was starting out and helped him along. And just I told him some advice that he still tells me to this day that it still holds true to him, is that the one thing anybody who's streaming needs to remember is that this is a marathon, not a race. And he stayed true to who he was, and he's now a Twitch partner because all he does is he's found his formula, and that he loved Elder Scrolls Online, and that's his game. That's what he streams, is Elder Scrolls Online. Like 4 out of the 5 days he streams. He'll have a variety day, but that's what he streams, and he's made it work. And he is, like I said, he's a Twitch partner. He went to TwitchCon, and is out there and done very well for himself. So, it's just things like that happen, and I've gotten into where I like to help people a lot more than maybe furthering along myself. I mean, granted, I'd love to be able to have this as the job, to
Well, of course.
maybe have a part-time job to supplement, but this be the primary source. But I don't know, it's not really in the cards for me right now to have that.
It's a grind.
I really wish. Hey, back in the SoCon days, I wish they had this as big as it is now.
Facts.
Things would be probably different then. But no, I love gaming. I enjoy it. I especially, and I know we'll probably get into it, but I really enjoy my multiplayer Mondays with you, with the two of us playing.
Aww.
I think it's fun. I think it's fun when you and I find a game that's just like off the wall, and we just say, okay, let's just play it and see what happens. Like the We Were Here games that we played, I think they were so much fun to play. I just wish they had more replayability than they do.
Right, and I wish my blood pressure was a little bit lower at the start, so I could have survived a little bit longer. But I enjoyed those as well. I've never been a big multiplayer streamer. Even when I started my Twitch channel back in the day with 2 viewers, I'm just not a multiplayer guy. I rage too much. It's just not my gig. I don't like to rage on stream very often. I understand everybody loves to see it and whatever else, but I don't want to be that guy, because then stuff gets broke, and it is what it is.
Right.
But I enjoy the multiplayer Mondays with you and whoever else we bring into that, because it kind of brings me out of my shell a little bit.
Right.
For that aspect. And we have a great dynamic. And now that we've been playing with Ape and QP and DJP and everybody that's kind of ran through, it's been nice to have everybody there and to kind of break that up a little bit.
Right.
And we'll probably be seeing that a little bit more frequently. If you're in, maybe we can kind of expand that out a little bit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So multiplayer wise, I know you were a big Destiny streamer, Destiny 2. I imagine you started with the original Destiny. Have you seen like a drop off in yourself since you've been I hate to call you this, but like a variety streamer, or since we've been doing the multiplayer Mondays? I feel like I always used to see you on Destiny 2, and now it's kind of, you've gone a different route with your channel. Have you seen a difference with that?
No, it's when I was doing the Destiny 2, you would get those people that are just looking to watch Destiny 2. But what I found is you need to be happy with what you're playing. And I enjoyed it, but for some reason the grind that's happened with this latest DLC has kind of fallen off for me. And while I do enjoy a good grinding game, when you only really go like 3 days a week and you're trying to make that time count, you kind of want to enjoy it. You don't want to be sitting there going, okay, well, who's going to want to come and watch me grind out materials on a planet for 4 hours, you know?
Right.
When it's new content and stuff like that, yeah, everybody's hyped for it. But then when you're just like, okay, well, I got to grind out, 200 pieces of this material in order to get this one gun, people are just like, okay, here's another public event that he's going to sit there and do. Okay, he's going to go do this one, and he's going to go do this one. And you get the people that, just want to stay and hang out and have a chat and that. But, for overall viewability, it just doesn't happen, and it doesn't get to be enjoyable there. And like I said, when you're not enjoying yourself, it just kind of, it tails off, and it resonates through the stream. So that's why I pick and choose when I want to play, and I enjoy playing with other people too, more than I do just playing by myself. I think, the engagement, like I said, when you and I play, we have a good banter back and forth, and, the audience likes to see that and feeds off of it, I think. Whereas when you're sitting there by yourself and, you're just zoning in, just going like this on a game.
My favorite look for you.
people don't care to see that, So I feel like you need to be happy with what you're playing, and I just been enjoying myself more playing with everybody else. So
right, absolutely, and that's something that I feel like has almost changed in your channel, which is nice to see. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible viewer because I want to see something different all the time. I have a very small attention span. Mm-hmm. That's just how I am, and that's probably why my channel is very, I wouldn't say wishy-washy, but it is. It's wishy-washy because I'm like, we're just gonna play this tonight because it's there, and that's what I like. You know what I mean? That's what I enjoy, and that's because I enjoy what I play. And if I'm not feeling it, I'm not feeling it. And that's exactly what you said. And I think that's great advice for people out there is to enjoy that. You see a lot of the big guys now. Like I know Shroud was one who was stuck playing whatever the hell he was playing. So I don't really watch Shroud. But he had said that he was getting tired of it. But if he switched games, his channel would suffer from that. Right. Because his viewership was game specific, which kind of sucks in a way. So it's almost you're almost training your chat as well as yourself.
Right. Well, what's nice with him now too is if you watch his channel, he's actually playing. Like I see him playing World of Warcraft now. Stuff like that, where you wouldn't see him do that on Twitch.
Right. It's almost like he's trying not to corner. He's using himself more than cornering the market on a game. Right. These days, which is nice. Which is nice to see after he made the switch. Speaking of switches, a lot of people are jumping ship. In everywhere. Recently, we've seen a lot of switches in our server alone, from people going from Twitch to Mixer, Twitch to DLive, DLive to Mixer, DLive to I think one person made the switch to Twitch. I'm sorry, I don't remember. Not a lot of people are making that jump, but it's there. Mm-hmm. And one of the biggest switches that for me, because I've been a follower of you, is your switch. I'll let you introduce that switch for all those who don't know out there. Right. So you handle that, buddy.
Well, everybody seems to be going over to Mixer when they're jumping from DLive. You really don't see a lot of people jumping to Twitch because a lot of people that came to DLive left Twitch for specific reasons. So when you look at that and what's happened in the dynamic of DLive lately, it seems like everybody wants that new hotness. DLive was the new hotness for a while, and so people wanted something different. Well, then all it took was Ninja to sign a huge deal to go stream over to Mixer, and then you had, Shroud follow suit, and then you had King Doth Lion follow suit as well. You're seeing these big streamers take this jump because they're taking the money, and it's like. People that were lambasting Ninja for taking a paycheck and saying you sold out, please, someone's going to pay me like $6 million and I have to go stream on a platform specifically for 5 years. Guess what? See ya.
Yeah.
Let me sign that check. Sign that check over to me. I'll take it. But, my thing right now is it just seems like people are jumping left and right. And the problem with DLive right now is that it's streamers watching other streamers. And usually, like for me, a lot of times is that when I'm watching somebody stream, I'm usually streaming at the same time too. And it's really a lurk because that's when I have time to do that. So with a lot of the streamers, when they're not streaming, they're either doing something outside of, with their family, outside of the gaming world and that, or they're sleeping. So really all you have is lurks. And I'm not really seeing the growth anymore on DLive. And that's my problem right now is like I've been trying to get this pushed for 500 viewers for a while, or 500 followers for a while. And I'm close.
I was gonna say, I think you're like what, two off now after tonight?
Yeah, it's got to be around there. But I felt like I didn't want to go to Mixer because I'm not the type of person that wants to be a sheep and follow everybody else. Not that I'm saying anybody who jumps over to Mixer is a sheep and everything, but I want to do something different. And in the vein of Supforce and where I talk about saying that I'm wanting to help everybody more, is that I feel that we need a better presence on Facebook. I brought over the DLive community and brought a bunch of people in and everything. Okay, hold on. Rosé said, "Oof." This was not a slight on QP or Panic or anybody else in Supforce that is switching. I'm following up what I was saying with what I'm talking about now. That we got a presence over in Mixer. We didn't have a presence on Mixer that much, and now we have a better presence on Mixer. Now I want to get us a presence on Facebook. So that's why I streamed 2 different days on Facebook. So I'm slowly starting to turn more and more over toward there, trying to get to 100 likes on my page and get to where I can apply for the Level Up program, and then start branching out and growing the community over there, and start trying to pull people into Supforce that are Facebook gamers, because I feel like that is an untapped source for us, that I think we start bringing those people in, well then we're just going to see us just go through. I know we got that magic number that we want to try to hit. Well, I think that's going to help us a lot.
It's nice to see with everybody making the switches and things like that. It's nice to see that everybody's giving a good presence when you get there. It's not like you're going there and I'm going to hammer my streams and whatever else. It's literally when people are making the switch, they're pulling people from that plat back to Supforce, which is incredible. And we thank you guys incredibly. Going back to, you investing your time and everybody wanting a new hotness, it took you, I don't know, man, months to get me to switch to DLive, of, putting it in my brain and doing all this stuff. And so now I'm DLive. I love DLive. That's the way I am. And I think I'm going to stay there probably the rest of my career, unless it were to totally die out. I mean, obviously, hell, if it dies out and I'm the only guy there, I guess I cornered the market. but in terms of Facebook, so I don't know all that much about Facebook gaming. I know my wife used to work with Demez. I don't know if anybody knows him. He's kind of a bigger guy over there. He does really well. But I know you had 1212's mom watching your stream at one point. And that's what I see. Like, Facebook is very, it would be easier to get my IRL people or your IRL people, right? Because everybody has a Facebook.
Right.
Who the hell doesn't have a Facebook? Do you see a struggle with pulling in I can't say non-IRL because that just makes us all seem virtual and we're in VR chat. But do you see it as a problem where when people come in, it's their personal profile versus a gaming profile, I guess, is my only concern with that.
Yes, there's sometimes people, that of as, you see, you're seeing Rebel Rods come into your chat and talk to you and that. But then when I see Ryan come in, yes, I know your name and everything, but so I know who you are. But let's say somebody Felly, I don't know what Felly's real name is. I don't know, what Felly's profile picture looks like. Well, if somebody comes in and says, "Hey, DieHard, how you doing?" And I'm like, "Hey, you good? How are you?" they're like, cool. And then you have to wait for them to say, hey, it's Felly. And you're like, oh, what's up, man? How you doing? You know? So it's a little tough on that side. But, you know, it's nice because I think it makes it a little bit more personal, too, at the same time.
Right. No, I agree 100%.
Plus, you stop the keyboard warriors, too, when they're actually using their real name.
Yeah, that's true. It is very true. So I'm going to flash over to the chat here real quick because I've been seeing some stuff come through. And yes, I'm reading it. Don't worry, guys. I'm not as good as him, but I'm okay with it. Brose says, VR chat for multiplayer Monday. DieHard's been kind of pushing me on this too. I don't have it. I know I suck. I don't know how to stream from PC because I only have one monitor. So it's like a window thing and all this. So we're working on it. All right. We'll get there. And I understand it's going to be a blast. So, and it's probably going to be one of those things that's going to suck me in for the rest of my life. And that's what it is. And it's funny because Felly actually says that Facebook streaming has been grabbing people. So, Felly, definitely. We've seen a huge growth there, like not Supforce wise, but just in our, what I would call the global community, is that Facebook is starting to really take off. It seems like an easy platform to use and utilize. I don't know anything about it. I've never tried. I've never once even looked it up. No offense, guys. I'm sorry. I've been still trying to learn about D Live, and because I'm not the best with this kind of stuff, and they've been making some crazy updates lately. So bear with me on that.
I would say the one bad thing about Facebook streaming is that, like, I'm using Streamlabs OBS for it, and I hate using Streamlabs OBS, but I feel it's easier to use that right now for alerts and everything else with it. But it's that you have to go live on Slobs first, and then once you go live on Slobs, then Facebook picks it up, and then you can actually go live on Facebook. Because then you got to click the go live, so you kind of have to go live twice.
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing I really don't like about it so far.
Felly, I don't know what that news is. See, I'm so out of the loop. He said some recent news surrounding Facebook has been bothering me. I don't know what that is.
I don't know. They're just talking about the whole thing with selling people's information and all that stuff with the Russians. And,
listen, cut me in for 10%.
Yeah.
I'm in. Just give me a little kickback from that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, have you expanded? This is a question for me. With everything that, I don't want to talk about it, but everything I've been pushing on my side that we were giggling about earlier. Have you thought about expanding to other platforms that aren't just streaming? So like maybe utilizing IG for anything, or Twitter, or maybe like TikTok, or now there's some other one out there.
I've actually thought about doing TikTok a little bit because I had this thing where I think most people do it that have dogs, but I talk for my dogs a lot. We have two dogs, Gabby and Gunther, which Gabby is a smaller dog, but she is full of piss and vinegar, and we basically refer to her as Tigger, and because she'll just bounce everywhere and just has all this. And then we have a lab mix named Gunther, who we equate to being Eeyore, and he just walks around and is like, thanks for noticing me. So I kind of talk like that for him, and Gabby, I talk like I have a little bit of an attitude as her voice, and I go back and forth. And I thought about doing TikToks where I speak as them and doing stuff like that. I used to use Instagram and Twitter a lot, and then I kind of fell on the wayside by doing that. I used to go live all the time for that, and I think in the future, for what one of my goals is to go back to that and start utilizing it more, especially like I think part of it was when I was building up my D Live presence in that, I use it all the time, and that might be why I've kind of grown stale too, but is that I was building it up, and I was going, when I go live, I throw it on Twitter, I throw it on Instagram, and all that stuff. I throw it in like 6 different Discords, and kind of after a while, it just gets a little tiring to do all that, and you kind of just like, I just want to go live and just stream in game. That's all I want to do. I don't want to have to deal with all that other stuff. But if you want to get to that plateau where you want to be at, you gotta have to put the work in. So I know for myself, I have to get back into that.
So there's been quite a bit happening in the chat. I don't know if you're watching it at all. I don't know if I'm supposed to be shouting people out or if you're supposed to be shouting people out.
No, you absolutely can.
Okay, Jillowin, thank you for the higgity host there with the 3 viewers. We greatly appreciate that.
Four.
Yemen Bakir, I'm going to butcher the shit out of everybody's name because I'm bad at that. Thank you for that follow. And there was a couple people upwards of that. I'm sorry, I don't have the alerts on my side. I can see them very well. Ape with the 2 ice creams and 3 lemons. Three is 3. There we go. Jesus. Can't count. And then we got the best. Yeah, I'm not even going to make what the best. Yeah, thank you for the follow. That puts us 2 or 3 closer, so we're doing good. Mrs. DieHard M has hit the chat. There it is.
I knew it was a matter of time.
There it is.
I knew it was a matter of time.
So, Mrs. DieHard M, welcome to the chat. I'm Rabble. This is obviously, this gentleman here. I hope my hands are on the right side of the screen. She wants to know, so you're talking about the dogs. She wants to know if you'll talk about your wife.
I will absolutely talk about my wonderful, lovely,
so hold on, before you go into your wife.
Whoa.
I've known you for, Jesus, like my entire streaming career at this point, because we've been in multiple Discords. It was only like a few months after I started that I had met you. And I don't hear that much about your wife. She's just like this background entity that you talk about and very good, but it's just not something we talk about. And I'd love to hear about your wife.
Well, my wife and I have been together since 2002. That's when we started dating. She's just weird. I don't mean that in a bad thing. It's just that personal side of things doesn't come up because it's all business. I'm sorry. I just put you in the doghouse. I'm terrible. I'm strictly business. Mrs. DieHard M. I'm sorry. I'm 100% business and 100% personal stays kind of away. So that's my fault there. Yeah,
that's what I meant by that.
I guess I'm sleeping in the spare room today.
See? Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm terrible.
Yes.
I'm starting to sweat for him. I'm sweating for him. My cheeks are flushed. I feel like I just ruined everything.
Well, my wife and I have been together since 2002. We started dating, and little known fact about my wife and I is that she is 7 years younger than me. So she was 19 when we started dating, and I was 26. And here I was, a 26-year-old with a year and a half old, my daughter Isabella, and she decided to date me after me pestering her for a month. We used to work together, and here's really how it all came about. Is that I decided one day I wanted to ask her out. This is what it's going to turn into.
Listen, Mrs. DieHard M, so am I, so it's all right. I'm with you there, buddy.
I was working as the shipping and receiving manager at Bed Bath & Beyond, and she was working on the housewares side. And I told the guys back there, I said, I'm going to ask Taryn out. And I had this reputation, and I know she's going to say something about me asking everybody out at the place, but I didn't, even though she constantly says it, but she probably is going to say something in the chat about it. But she came back to the receiving area, and I said, hey, Taryn, so when are we going to go out? And I looked at her, and she just laughed and walked right back out of receiving. She just laughed and walked right out. And all the guys started laughing at me and everything, and I'm just like, all right. She came back. I'm like, hey, I'm serious. Let's go out. Let's go on a date. And she's like, you're not serious. I go, yeah, I'm serious. I'm like, why would I ask you in front of everybody if I wasn't serious? She goes, exactly my point, and then walked out again. So it took a month of pestering her and everything else. And I think she'll say it to this day too, is that she was suckered in by my daughter and thought, I can't let this man raise his daughter by himself. She needs somebody in her life that's got to keep it steady. So
that's incredible.
So we maybe now it does slap you, not back then it didn't. No meant, try harder next time, come back in about, a couple days and see what you can do. But We have been married for over 11 years now, and very happy. We have. She's been a great mom to my daughter. She actually, I don't know where me and my daughter would be without her. Um, she she is the rock of our family. She keeps everything together. She is the glue. And she allows me to do this stuff because little known fact is that back in my SOCOM days when we were dating, she literally was saying she's going to come over one day, and I'm like, okay, but I'm playing games. And she's like, okay, I'll just come over and hang out. So here's me, just zoned it in, man, just killing shit left and right. And she's just sitting there like staring at me, and I'm just going. And she's like, all right, I'm going to leave. I'm like, all right, see ya. So that was a big turning point. And then when SOCOM sucked, I was trying to be nice. So we'll be eventually, started living together, and that before we were married, and that we had an agreement. She worked nights, I worked during the day. So we were kind of two ships passing in the night. So the agreement is that we would, when she was working, I would be able to game. So, and now with her working days, she goes to bed at 8:00 because she doesn't like not sleeping. Whereas me, you keep me up till 1:30 in the morning playing.
I do no such thing.
Yeah,
it's a
you
personal choice, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You make that decision.
You forced me into it.
And I'm sorry, Mrs. DieHard M.
I'm still awake.
Yeah, it's 8:49 and she's still here. What do you mean she goes to bed at 8:00? She's like 49 minutes over. I'm just saying.
Ape, if I made her a mod, she'd kick everybody out of here and silence them all.
So, by the way, me and my wife, when we were in the call one day, when we were talking about everything, did get to hear from your daughter. And you guys did an excellent job. Mrs. DieHard M, you guys killed it. She's hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. She's way cooler than my kids. So.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna text her because she was
where's
supposed
she
to be in.
I was gonna say, where's she at tonight? And Mrs. DieHard M, if you have anything to add, I'd love to hear it. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty great. So has Mrs. DieHard M ever picked up a controller and
let me tell you something. She streamed with me once. Not on camera, but she gamed with me because she plays Tetris. And she whoops my ass in Tetris. She does. She has to give me like a handicap where like she starts out with like 7-8 lines on the bottom first. So that way I have a chance. I do beat her the rare occasion, but more often than not, she kicks my ass. So that's what she does. And she does play. She played the Switch occasionally, and in the Wii.
That was going to be my next question. Have you got her to play Tetris 99 or whatever?
There's Mini DieHard M.
Hey, there she is.
Yeah, see, she said, I tried to get her to play zombies with me once, okay? And this is her.
You got to turn her sensitivity down, man. Help her go out.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
But she likes those games, and she'll play Super Mario Brothers till the cows come home. So she likes those games.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's better than not giving it a shot. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which I hear a lot of. So now that we got the whole family in here now. So Mini DieHard M, if you have anything you'd like to ask or anything, please put it right in there. Sloppy, thank you for the lemon. There's too many buttons and he's the worst teacher. She put that all on you.
Yeah.
She definitely put that all on you. She says that he's a terrible teacher and shoots her instead of telling her how to play. Rock solid. That's the heart of a gamer right there. So, I mean, is there so one of the questions I had in here was what's your greatest moment streaming? Do you have one particular moment that stands out?
I do. It was actually on D Live. It was probably one of the greatest things that I've ever seen happen on a stream of mine. Was that I got hosted by somebody from D Live Legends, and I think there were bots, but I don't care. It was just amazing, and we always say, don't look at the number, but when the number starts skyrocketing, I got hosted, and it said it was a 25 viewer host. Then all of a sudden, it went from 25 to 100. And then it went to 150, and then it went to 200, and then it went to 250, and I think it topped out at 349 people. The numbers. The red number said 349 people were watching, and that's the most I've ever had watching a game.
That's awesome.
Now, mind you, I think it was bots. I think there were bots attached to that, but hey, I'm still gonna count it.
Yeah, absolutely.
When somebody asks, "Hey, what's the most number of people you had watching?" I'm like 349.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there's a difference between like you yourself botting and then like somebody hosts you and then it's attached with bots. If you even because there's no way for you to know, so I think you can totally legitimately skate that through. Definitely.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Right.
And I'd print that shit on a shirt if I had 349 people. No. If you could be any game character, who would you be and why from Madly?
I think if I had to pick a game character, I would be Cade 6 from Destiny 2. He is probably like the coolest character I've ever seen in a video game.
Solid choice. 110%.
He's got the jokes. He is funny. He's sarcastic. He's a badass. So overall, that's who I would pick if I could be any character. Even though, spoiler alert, he dies.
Whoa! Don't ruin it for the rest of us who haven't played the last 17 DLCs for that game. Okay, so I have one here from Minnie. What's my favorite game, Dad, that we play together?
Well, there's two that immediately come to mind, and that we've played that she constantly would want to play, and that's NBA Live. She likes playing that, and we play that together. In FIFA, we played a lot of FIFA and NBA Live together. Am I right? Am I right on that one?
I know. I'm waiting to hear it because I gotta know. I'm part of me hopes you're kind of wrong. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. See her light you up in the chat.
See, I'm right.
Nice job. Good. Way to know. That's solid.
What she would love to do is she would love to stream COD 2. Yeah, some COD you play. But she would love to stream The Sims 4. That's really what she likes to play when she plays on her own.
So where are we at in that? Are we going to see a mini DieHard?
She's in college. I want her to concentrate on that.
Oh, whoa, hey, jeez, man. Wow. All right.
How many years? Felly, I'm sorry, you must have missed it. I said I've been married to my wife for over 11 years. We haven't been to 12 quite yet.
The questions are rolling in now. So.
They asked you too. How about you and Mrs. Rabble?
What about me, Mrs.
Felly,
Rabble?
she said, how many years have you two been married to your wives?
Oh God. Two in like 2 months. How's that? Is that a good enough answer? She's in the chat right now. She's gonna come down here and punch me right in the face. I robbed the cradle as well, but we're not going to get into that. That's mine's a big stretch too. I feel you on that. We worked at the roller rink together, so we met there, got engaged there, and still work there. And I've been working there for 15 years.
Sorry, Felly. I'm sorry if I said she or anything. I apologize.
Wow, I knew you were. So Sloppy has asked this question, and I think Jose asked it higher.
Love you, sweetheart. Have a good night. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for stopping by.
All right. Have fun, Minnie. So, if you were to have a pet of any animal with no consequences, it wouldn't harm anybody and it wouldn't like attack you or anything like that. There's no stips. What animal would you have? It's been asked a couple times. I am reading the questions, guys. I filter them differently. Sorry.
Like my wife's the same way as all the dogs. They just want all the dogs.
All the dogs. Out
Yeah,
of everything you
yeah.
can have. Animals, whatever, man. You could have anything. You want just more dogs.
Well, just think about it. Like, think about all the hassle that you're gonna have. You know, no consequences that they're not gonna hurt anybody, but you still got to clean up after them and everything. Like, yeah, it'd be cool to have like a cheetah or a lion, or have a tiger, but you still got to clean up after them and everything. But yeah,
True.
my wife has said, and she can attest to it if she's still listening, is that if we ever won the lottery, she'd want to have have an actual place to where she could have all the dogs. You know, save them from the shelters and everything else. We watching Practical Jokers, and I don't know if anybody has out there, but Joe Gatto. We were watching it the other day and had a shirt that said, "Don't shop, adopt." Or
Yep.
adopt, don't shop. And I full heartedly agree with that. Is that there's so many dogs out there that need a good home that you should adopt rather than shop around and get a dog.
I agree. Both of our dogs, actually, every dog I've ever owned is a rescue. Now we just have Bales, but she was rescued. What a fun time that was. So I don't know if your dogs, do they have like crazy backstories? Because I assume you
Um,
adopt.
well, Gabby, we rescued her when she was a puppy. We rescued her from the Humane Society, and then I wanted another dog to be able to be a companion to Gabby, so she wouldn't be alone, and because we both worked and everything, and just have somebody there with her. And there was a couple that I worked with at Bed Bath that they had a side job where they would train dogs, and they actually had a program with the juvenile center where they would take the juvenile delinquents and they would train the dogs. Yeah, we'll get to that. I'm gonna include that. I'm gonna include that part in the story. So we went through and or they went through and was training shelter dogs, and then the one girl that I worked with was like, "Oh my God, I know you were talking about wanting another dog, and I found the perfect dog for you. His name's Max. He's a lab mix, and he's trained. He can sit, he can shake, and everything. He's just a gentle soul. You'll love this dog. He was turned in because he climbed a fence, and the owners didn't want him anymore because he did that. So I showed it to my wife, and we don't need another dog. We don't need another dog. Like, fine. And then we drove by where the actual shelter was, where he was at. And I said, "Oh, that's where that dog is." And she's like, "Okay." And I'm just like, every time we drive, because we would constantly drive by this place. Like, for a couple weeks, I was just like, "Yeah, it's where he's at." And I'd sit there and drive like this.
It's a terrible pantomime. You're all over the
Yeah,
place, by the way.
yeah, we couldn't afford another dog. Yeah. Well, yes, we couldn't afford another dog, is what she said. So then she's like, she finally gave in and was like, "Fine, we'll go, but we're not bringing any dogs home." And so we got there to the shelter, and it was right next to the prison, the county jail. And we got there, and it was like they had, I think it was like 45 minutes before they close. And it said, "Yeah, we heard there's this dog here named Max," and I was told to come see him. And they're like, "Okay, yeah, it's he's right over there." And it was like the hottest day, like that year. It was the hottest day. It was so hot, and we go and see this dog, and he's literally sitting in like a concrete cage, the way they had him there, and he was sitting in his own piss, and he had like white spots on his paws, but they were yellow. They were stained yellow, and he had shit in the cage and everything else too. He was just sitting there, and he was just like you could just see he was just in pain. And we went and looked at him, and my wife welled up, and then just all of a sudden we were sitting there and we heard a guy come out from the back and set keys down and goes, "Yeah, I locked up the incinerator."
Oh,
and then she just looked at me like this, and then next thing you know, I just got punched. It just looked at me. I'm like, "What?" She's like, "You damn well know I can't leave without that dog now. You know it. You know we can't leave him here. You know that." So we were allowed to let him out, and we walked with him on a leash, and Belle was with us, and we walked him out and walked him outside, and he had like diarrhea. He just wasn't right, and so we were like, we got him. We ended up getting him.
This is DieHard M. You're the best. You show up every week. I hope you never miss another one. I want you to know that.
We took him outside and we signed off and got him and took him because they were like, well, if you want him, you got to take him now because we're closing up. And then when we get within a half hour, we don't do any more adoptions. So we're like, all right, cool. So we signed him. We took him. We luckily had like blankets or towels, I can't remember, in the back of the vehicle. Laid him down because, like I said, he was bad off. And we immediately went from the Humane Society or from the shelter, went right over to the pet store where we got Gabby groomed all the time and said, listen, we just adopted him. We told him the story about how he was sitting in this cage and everything. And we said, we really need to get him groomed. And they said, okay, no problem. We'll take care of it. We'll get him all set. So they got him groomed. They said they had to wash him like 3 times in order to get him clean. He was that bad off. And then we noticed that when we got him home and that he was walking around and his tail was kind of like limp in the back. He didn't have like the regular tail. And when you touch it, he'd yipe and everything. So it was like, what's going on with him? Well, then we had to take him to the vet. So yes, this was not a cheap dog. So we had to take him to the vet because we're like, oh my God, what if his tail's broke? That was like the thing running through our minds and everything. Well, then we found out that he had a skin infection. Oh.
Wow. Boom, boom, boom. Man, she shot. Oh, shots fired. My God.
I guarantee you she's laying in bed up there laughing at herself. She is probably sitting there laughing. There's probably tears coming down her eyes because she thinks she's so funny right now.
It's amazing.
I love you too. I love you too.
Please don't ever miss another show.
So we ended up finding out he had a skin infection on like that certain part of his tail and everything, and it wasn't broken. So we were like so thankful for that. And he's our biggie butt now. We love him to death. He's a pain in the ass and he has his bad habits and everything, but we do love him. We love them both.
Yeah, and rescuing dogs is the best.
It is.
Our first one, we got Bales, who's usually sleeping on the couch behind me.
Yep.
Or next to me when I'm streaming. We got her, and they actually someone had tried to, like, whatever they do with their tails where they cut them off.
Yeah.
What's that called?
They try to snip them.
Yeah. Well, they had done it, and so now her tail is like this, but it's only like this long. Oh yeah. It doesn't hurt her or nothing else. It's all good.
Right.
But I believe it was her I had to wear shoes with because they used to kick her without socks on. Like, we went to this person's house and got the dog. And the lady's like, she's not going to come out. She blah, 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 blah. So I laid on the kitchen floor, and she fell asleep on my chest in a matter of like 5 minutes. And I'm like, we're out of here.
Right.
Fucking, here you go. I'm like, whatever, they were asking some amount of whatever for. I'm like, nope, we're leaving now. We got to go. And so then we got her, and then her brother, they mated the dogs again. And then her brother, her sister, Sam's sister, my wife's sister, brought him to her little cousin's birthday and was carrying this dog around who was emaciated and just, I got to find him a home. Right. Will you just hold him? Right. And I'm like, well, fuck, we got another dog. That's how that worked. Because I
Right.
was like, no, we're not getting another dog. We're not doing another dog. I was with Mrs. DieHard on this one. I'm like, we're not doing 2 dogs. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing the puppy crap again. I'm never gonna do it again. And then we come home with him, and it was great. He's since passed. He was old and big and
Right.
and everything else. And then him, I couldn't wear shoes with. So it was this whole.
Huh.
It was super fun. It was super fun time. But
Sounds like it.
But no, rescuing dogs and all that fun stuff is absolutely great. Now, DieHard, we're at 9:08. I don't know what the time frame is for these.
We can go until we don't have any more to say.
And guys, don't hesitate to put your questions in there, especially Mrs. DieHard M. I definitely want to hear questions from you. You're great, and I never want you to miss another one. From the bottom of my heart, I want you here all the time.
Oh, absolutely, TTK. It's I have, luckily these are both my first dogs that I've owned, like I went out and bought these. I've had dogs, before, but I've never had to go through that. It was tough when I lost our dog Corey, when my parents. That was the one that really stuck with me. The one before that, Bo, she was a schnauzer. They got rid of her without me knowing. I was like gone and away and everything, and then they, took her to the farm.
Oh, Jesus.
So, but Corey was a tough one because I was, 28 when Corey passed. Yeah, and that was tough because she had, cysts and everything else and tumors, and it was
Yep.
bad business.
That's Roscoe. We had to do the same thing. He had cancer, and then his heart was bad, so he was on pills and shit. And I'm like, nah.
Right.
And then because we didn't want to do the pill thing, he ended up getting like the cancer was making him hyper aggressive and stuff. So it was just like, nope. So I took him out. We took him out on a night adventure, and we did chicken nuggets and all this other crap, and
Right.
he ate all types of stuff and loved it. And dude, hardest time of my life. Not gonna lie, it's tough.
Yep.
It's the roughest thing, especially when they're yours. Like these are my 2 first as well. And that's rough. Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna go there.
No. Let's bring this back up.
We gotta turn it back up. So 2020 is right around the corner. Don't think I'm jumping over the holiday season because I do want to talk about that for just after this. But 2020 is right around the corner.
Right.
How are you gonna welcome 2020 in with either streaming or IRL or the community or whatever you want to do? What is 2020, the beginning of it, looking like for DieHard, and what should we expect?
Well, hopefully 2020 is going to be a really good year. Kind of going back down again, but the past 3 years I've lost somebody that I love in the summer of each year. It was all around the same time for the past 3 years. So I'm hoping that we can get through 2020 without something like that happening. It would be nice to have that. But as far as like welcoming it in, not sure what we're gonna do. We haven't really talked about it. Usually I like to try to spend it with my cousins and my nephews. So it'll be fun to hang out with them and see what's going on. But no plans have been made yet to ring it in. Might, who knows, might pop on for a little bit to say a Happy New Year. But we'll see what happens. I'm just excited to get this year started. Winter is definitely okay. I could sell my Xbox.
Yeah, but then I don't get to hang out with him. I mean,
no, we just need to get you going on a PC. Got to start a donation goal for that after the holidays. That's the next donation goal for you.
Oh my God! Stop, you guys. No, we're not going there either, because then I'm gonna definitely well up.
But I want to get through I like getting through the holiday season, but as soon as the holiday season's over with, I'm done with winter. I'm done. I don't care about it. I want to get right into spring and get going with the nicer weather. I don't need it to be 90 degrees. A nice 70-degree day, is nice. I'll take that all day long. So, but
I'm a 73 jeans, t-shirt. I'm in.
I hate that time of year where it's just like right now it's, but you get to be outside. I'm in an office where I don't have windows, And yeah, you have to pick up the dog poop. Yeah, exactly. That's really the bad shit is when that happens, literally. But I'm in an office where I don't have really windows to the outside. So when I go to work, it's dark. And when I leave work, it's dark. And I hate that time. I hate that time of the year where you don't really get to see the sunlight, if it's
Right.
out there at any time. So
Yeah, so you mentioned I work outside. Yeah, I get to feel all 2 degrees of it all the time, constantly. It's great. It's amazing. Also, for anybody who doesn't know, I'm a car salesman, but I have to wear slacks. It's not like I get to walk around all bundled up and be super awesome out in the cold. It's that I'm dressed for an office job, except for I get to walk around a parking lot.
yeah, but you got to wear thermal underneath, don't you?
I definitely do. It
Yeah,
doesn't help much.
I
It's
know, but it's something.
stand in an open parking lot in slacks with long underwear on, and we'll talk about it.
Right.
So, 2020, you're not, I didn't mean, are you streaming on New Year's or anything like that? I meant, should we expect anything different out of the channel or anything out of you? Is there anything, maybe I know some people are like, this year we're doing this. We're going to, whatever. Maybe you're going to come out with Dance Central. Maybe that's going to be your next big top jammer.
No, I don't know. We'll see what's going to happen. Destiny's still always going to be a game that's there. PUBG is always going to be there. You and I'll always find something to play. We got the SFGA, the Supforce Golf Association, that we're going to take off. I mean, that's really what I'm looking forward to, as well as really diving into that and getting ourselves some tournaments set up. To where we compete against each other and see who's got the better 4-round score and stuff like that. I hate to be, but I need a baby diaper and more milk for him. I don't want him to be crazy loud on the stream.
The diapers happen to be next to me, so she's stressed.
Well, if you want to go and take care of that, I can talk to the chat and everything.
Okay, so everybody, DieHard is going to entertain you now. I'm going to mute myself and sort this out.
So everybody, we're gonna see what games are coming out. Obviously the big one I think for 2020 is going to be Cyberpunk. That's probably going to be the biggest, I think, release of 2020. But we'll see. We'll see what to entertain this clown. You want me to make you a bicycle? But we'll see what's gonna happen. I know that next week Tuesday I have the championship for my bowling league to try to win our 4th championship in a row. So that'll be cool. Bring home some money from that, and then take a break, and then the league starts back up the second week in January, the 7th. So I'll have a little bit of a break from that, and then I'm hoping maybe to get into a golf league if I can find a partner for it, a real golf league. And we're gonna see where it goes. The wife and I are going to go see Garth Brooks in February, so that's gonna be fun. It'll be her second time, my third time seeing him, and he puts on an amazing show. Even if country is not your cup of tea, he puts on one hell of a show, and it's good. Joe, get a flat pack from IKEA and make him put that together while timing him. Oh, okay.
Look at that. That was good. All right, we're back. We got all supplies are good. I'm good. All right. Garth Brooks. We're talking about Garth Brooks. What did I miss?
I was just talking about how I said I think the big release next year is going to be Cyberpunk, and then obviously the PS5 and Project Scarlet Xbox coming out. I forgot about those, but I'm not even interested in that. With
PC life.
With PC life now, yeah, I like that. And then I said the wife and I were going to go see Garth Brooks in February. It'll be I know. We'll get to that. I've seen him 3 times. This will be my 3rd time and her 2nd time seeing Garth Brooks. But it's always I said even if you're not in the country, he puts on one hell of a show. It really does.
Did you watch didn't he just put out a movie, or he's got a movie coming out?
There's like a documentary that's on AMC that which, by the way, hun, we have to watch that. It's a 2-parter. I think it's pretty good. Do I like having a butt chin? Yes, I like having a butt chin, and you like me having a butt chin. So that's one of the first things that she noticed about me was when we first met. I was her supervisor at Bed Bath & Beyond at first, and she's told me this plenty of times that she walked up to me and saw my butt chin and everything, and she just literally wanted to walk up and just put her finger right there in the middle of it.
So on the butt chin conversation, because I don't really have one. I have like a regular chin. Is there, or not I don't know. Butt chins are irregular. Sorry, that may be chinist of me.
You're such a chin elitist.
But do you see any benefit to having one? I mean, obviously you don't know what it's like to not have one, but does it drain, like if you drink and you miss your mouth, does it drain all into one spot?
No, because there's a bump right here, so it kind of goes this way.
Okay.
The thing that sucks about the one thing that sucks about it is really trying to shave in there when you're trying to, get clean shaven and everything. It's really hard to get all of that out of there. And that
I could see that. So I have a question for Mrs. DieHard M, actually, if while she's here poking fun at you. Beard or no beard? So this has been an ongoing thing. Since he shaved, I constantly feel the need to talk about it. Multiplayer Monday. Oh, he's got a hairy crack on his chin or both. But I don't know. I was digging the beard because now I feel like it's just we had this conversation, DieHard, where it's all one thing now. The definition is tough. It's tough. But I'd like to hear what she has to say, besides your hairy crack, which is interesting. Should take care of that.
Yeah.
Go see somebody. Get it all.
No.
Oh, yeah, buddy. Get it waxed up. I like the beard, but it makes my skin break out. Okay, I can see that. Absolutely.
Because she even, like, because I had it, for a little over a month, and I went and shaved in the morning, and then I came out of the bathroom and was all clean shaven, and she was like, "You look weird." So she says, so no beard.
No beard, yeah. Mrs. DieHard, I told him to keep the opposite of what I have, which would be the mustache that ran down into the chin strap. And then we would just look like opposite pieces. It would be amazing. That was my suggestion. He said no. That was mine. So you would literally only shave this. Just the chin.
Hell no.
Hell no. I think it'd be great. So does anybody else have anything floating around question-wise? I figure 9:30 is probably a good cutoff time. I don't want to,
Right.
I'm not one to keep anybody here for a million hours or any of that fun stuff. But do you have anything that you want to talk about with everything going on? Let's talk about that.
No, just that, if you're out there and you are not a member of Supforce, I really highly suggest you checking it out. Brose, if you could, please put the link to the website in the chat, and make sure you click that. You can go to supportforce.ca, supportforce.co, supportforce.info. Any one of those, you can go and check us out and learn about us and what we're about. We're really about supporting everybody, no matter what platform you're on. Whether you're on Facebook, Twitch, Mixer, DLive, Instagram, Twitter. What was that other one? That new one? Was it BeLive? BeLive or something? Remember that other one that there was?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Doesn't matter what platform you're on. We're going to be there to support you and help you try to achieve your goals. So make sure you hit it up. Supforce, there you go. Thank you, Madly. Supportforce.co. Hit us up. Join us. You won't be sorry. You get what you get out of Supforce what you put in. So if you're out there and you're chatting with everybody, hanging out, liking, commenting on their content, and supporting people, you're going to get that support back tenfold. So, Jill, steak or roast, or streak or roast? I think he meant steak.
Yeah.
Steak. I love a great steak.
Dar, do you have a link to your Facebook on anything? I'm checking your abouts right now, and I'm not seeing it. I was just curious.
Yeah,
if you wanted to push
that.
Drop that in there, buddy. Make magic happen. So while we're doing that, let's talk about the holiday season. I know it's generally a slow time. I figure we'll run this for about 4 more minutes, and do your outro. So, holiday season, it's usually a slower time. Do you have any suggestions to boost it, or any ways that you're handling with it? And then, of course, I want to hear about your holiday plans as well.
Just don't get frustrated about it. Make sure that you're plugging through. Holidays are tough for everybody, whether you're streaming, whether you're just in real life. It's just a tough time for everybody. Make sure that if you're feeling down or anything, reach out to us. Talk to somebody, have a good conversation. It can help out a lot. And as far as like the streaming goes, with it being the downtime and everybody busy with holiday parties, whether it be work, whether it be family, anything at all, just make sure you just keep plugging away. Stay the course. Don't get frustrated by it. As they say, this shall too pass. Make sure that you just keep on keeping on. Stay your course. Don't deviate, So that's really what I have to say about that.
All right. Well, any good plans on your end of the holiday things? Do you guys do like a work event, or do you do any of that?
We usually do a work event, but it's a busy time for us. We swapped softwares for what we use for our help desk, so it's pretty strenuous time right now for us. So we're waiting, and we're going to do something in January where we're actually going to do, and you'll love this, indoor go-kart racing. Like it's like full on go-kart racing too,
Yeah.
not just
Is it the one where you need your license and you wear a helmet and a neck thing?
Yeah, full on. It's gonna be a blast. We're gonna do that in January after the holidays, and we get through all this stuff. That's fun. We always do my mom's side of the family because my parents are down in Florida. They're not up here for Christmas, but we do my mom's side of the family for Christmas Eve, which is always a fun time. We used to do White Elephant gift exchange with all the cousins, but now we decided to go because it's fun for a few years, but then after a while you're like, all right, I'd like to get something that you actually use, besides getting, something. One year somebody brought a wooden penis bottle opener.
I would love to have that.
About that big. It got broken that night.
Oh.
It did. It was getting thrown around and tossed around. It broke. But we do a Secret Santa there and set, our dollar amount, and we do all that. So that's a good time. And, just have a good time with that family. And then we're hosting here at our house, my wife's side of the family, for Christmas Day. And we'll have Belle with us for Christmas Eve into Christmas morning, and then she'll be with her mom on Christmas morning. So, yep.
Nice.
So it'll be a good time.
With that.
What about you? What's your plans?
Oh, my plans? The kids are young, so we just kind of hang out here. People stop by all day.
Right.
All night. It's just an in and out all day.
Nice. People come and pay tribute to the kids.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I just try to stay sane. But my parents are in Florida as well, so we go down at the end of January and hang out with them every year. So it kind of gets away from the holiday season and then before spring break, which is nice. If you're looking to fly, that's the time to do it.
Yeah, exactly. That's if you want to say the cheaper time to fly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Definitely the last week of January is when we go down there to do that. But like my parents come over in the morning, her parents kind of float through and stuff like that. So that's nice. We do everything here. I don't leave on Christmas anymore. We used to hit everybody's house.
Right.
I shut that down last year. That was it for me. Right. I said, we went to everybody's house and I'm like, guys, this is the last time we're doing this. I'm not driving. I'm the one with kids. You guys don't have them. You can travel. I'm not doing it again. Because every year it seems we get like 5 inches in upstate where it's just a mess. One thing I'd like to say is that, and this is, Supforce has been amazing for my Christmas. DieHard has definitely helped with a lot of stuff. He's put together quite a few things for our family on this end, and it's tough to even put into words how it feels and everything that's happened. I'm not going to get too far into it because if you were there the one night, I got emotional and it was terrible. And then I ended up with makeup on and it started a whole nother chain of events that is now occurring. Um, so with that, I just want to give my gratitude to everybody out there that's part of Supforce that's absolutely helped me through the holiday season. We had some rough times, and I appreciate all of y'all for sure. 1212 has been blowing up the chat with it, and just it's incredible. So that leaves us at 927. I'm not going to say anymore because then I'm going to do my thing. But DieHard, any final thoughts? Any good advice? Bad advice? I love bad advice. Like, what's the worst thing you could ever do? That kind of shit. But anything you want to say to shout us off here?
No, just thank you to everybody for coming and hanging out. Thank you for all the support that I've received. It's been amazing, and it's been a fun ride so far, and I can't wait to see what the next year is going to bring for Supforce and where we go. I feel like the sky's the limit for us if we stay the course and not you dumbass. Why do you do that in the middle of me talking? You jerk. Thank you for the 2 diamonds. You get the 4 on 4 on 4.
Because I was just waiting for you to be done with it, buddy. But you talk through it.
But I really, really, really appreciate. You're welcome. There you go. See. Yes, thank you. Yes, I want to thank everybody, but I do want to especially thank my wife. She puts up with me and puts up with a lot, and although she may not understand this whole dynamic of what I do here, she supports me in it, and I wouldn't be able to do it without her, quite honestly. And I love you so much, babe, and I really, really, really appreciate it. And this isn't just for show for this. It's the truth, is that I do love you from the bottom of my heart, and thank you for allowing me to do this and having fun with it. So, God damn it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I really do love you, hon, and thank you again from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to do this. So, thank you to everybody for Supforce. Make sure you keep up with what's going on. We have a lot of cool things coming up in the next year, and believe me, the only way for us to grow is to spread the word and make sure that you show people what Supforce is all about. We always say hashtag support the support. It's an amazing community. It's I will say hands down the best community I've ever been a part of, and I will continue to be a part of until it's no more, which I hope never happens.
Yeah.
Or I'm in the dirt. But I really, really appreciate everything. Rabble, I really appreciate you, and Mrs. Rabble too. You guys have been good sounding boards for me when I've felt frustrated and everything. And, like I said, I think you and I are a lot alike, and we share a very, very, very common dynamic, I think, between the two of us. And I love you, brother. I really do.
I love you too, buddy.
I love you even more with that microphone picture.
Oh, God. Stop. We're not going into that tonight.
Telling you, I'm going to lose you from multiplayer Mondays to model Mondays. You'll be too busy with your photo shoots.
Like I said, it's probably a repost bot, but I like that their page now features a half-naked picture of me with their microphone. That's all I'm saying.
Cool. So do you want to do an outro, or do you want me to do it?
First off, I cannot do that thing that you do so amazingly that I'm not even going to attempt to do that at all. It's incredible.
All right. So everybody, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for coming out to the pod. Really appreciate it. Make sure you come out. We do this every week at about this time. It's either Wednesday or Thursday, depending on the scheduling for the guests. Next week will be a staff member. We're going to see who we're going to get on to do the pod. Not sure, but it will be a staff member, because usually this week is always the feature creator, then the next week is a staff member. Once we get through all the staff members, then we'll start toying with that idea and figuring out exactly what we're going to do. We do have to go back and get some feature creators. I believe we still have to get Bix. I think Bix is the only one left that we didn't do a feature creator on the pod, because we started it a little later than we started that. But really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Keep supporting the support. Spread the word. Show the people what we're made of. And remember, as always, ladies and gentlemen, that happiness is a state of mind, peace, love, and financial security. And all if you can have sex, wear a condom, help control the pet population, have your pets spayed or neutered, and remember, as always, stay blessed. Have a great night, everybody.
I could never do that. Not a chance. Good job.
Good job to you.
Oh, dude, I was so nervous.
You did great.
Like, I'm more of an interviewee, not an interviewer. Yeah. That was tough. I very rarely get nervous, but I was nervous about it.
Did you see what Madley put? I think that's a great idea.
A shirt with the outro on it?
In tiny script, like just written across.
I'm in. That'd be amazing. So how the outro, man? How long has that existed? As long as I've known you've been doing it.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a while. Even before I was even a part of Supforce, I was doing it.
Right. Yeah, I don't have nothing like that. You were like, oh, you can do it. And then,